Well, after this, I'm looking forward to the companion film, Perpendicular Fathers. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about yet another film I'm definitely a little late to discuss, Parallel Mothers. Before we begin, let me know in the comments what your thoughts on this movie were, if you already saw it, or if you were planning on seeing it, and make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like these reviews, as it helps me out immensely by getting my content out there. And if you're new here, I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with reviews of new releases, older films, hidden gems, and so much more on a near daily basis. But let's not waste any more time and let's talk about Parallel Mothers. This stars Penelope Cruz and Milena Smit as Janis and Ana, two single women who meet in a hospital room where they are both going to give birth. Janis is middle-aged and doesn't regret it, while Ana is adolescent and scared. The two women form a strong bond with one another as they both confront motherhood. This is written and directed by Pedro Almodovar, and it was released towards the very end of December 2021. And what's interesting about this one is, despite tons of critical acclaim and making a lot of end-of-year lists, on top of the fact it picked up Oscar nominations for Best Original Score and for Penelope Cruz, this was not selected as Spain's entry for Best International Feature, instead being The Good Boss, which didn't receive the nomination. Which is really odd because had this been the entry, it would have easily been nominated, and it would have truly made that category a tight race. Now, while I haven't seen all of Almodovar's work, I've seen quite a few of his films, and truthfully, I'm not exactly a die-hard fan of the guy, though I don't dislike him. Like, there are only a few films of his that I find to be great, as his style can be a bit too dry for me at times. But this certainly was one to add to the list of great films, because I thought this was fantastic. I found this to be some of Almodovar's strongest writing in quite some time. While primarily a character-centered drama, I appreciated the way it teetered into genre territory, sometimes feeling akin to a thriller, in the way in which characters would break down or manipulate one another. Primarily via Janis, in an excellent lead performance by Penelope Cruz. She's not exactly a bad person, but she's someone who feels like she needs to have absolute control, and navigates the world with a confidence that she 100% knows best at all times. And we see that control leak into her relationship with Ana, who's vulnerable, isn't quite as enthusiastic about becoming a mother, and has a fairly shoddy relationship with her own mother. Ana, who's considerably much younger than Janis, feels lost and aimless, being at a completely different stage in her life. She receives guidance from Janis, and a genuine bond forms between the two, though Janis uses her vulnerability as a way to shape her in a way that mainly works in her best interest rather than both of theirs. I won't get too much into where things are headed between the two, but there were some effective twists and turns within the film that were played with a nice sense of restraint, but still had an emotional impact, which allowed the film to be consistently engrossing. There's a sense of melodrama due to the character-driven nature of the story, but not everything's played as this grand spectacle. The dialogue is the guiding force, but there's a brilliant sense of wit to the conversations and the way in which a lot of the differing worldviews come to a head. And the performances are excellent. As mentioned, Penelope Cruz is reliable as always, and is brilliant even when Janis isn't always the most sympathetic, though Milena Smit is also charismatic as the broken Ana. The chemistry between the two would be electrifying, and because of how well they work together, I found the sequences that would be the two of them bonding, whether due to a genuine foundation or through a lie, to be some of the most engrossing parts of the film. The only thing I'd say is that the film does lose a bit of steam in its third act. Part of the backdrop involves Janis, who's a photographer, working with an archaeologist who winds up being the father of her child, and they work together on a job that centers around graves in her home village. Now, the way the film tries to circle back to that and tie it into the overarching narrative didn't quite have as emotional of an impact as I think it wanted to, and it does play a part in the film's ending. And I felt the way it came back to this plot point, because of how infrequent we saw it earlier on, it does feel a little jarring given everything else that happened prior to it. Not that it causes the film to end on a bad note, but the pacing was thrown off just a touch in that third act as a result. Parallel Mothers is an engrossing watch and one of my favorite Almodovar films to date. The way his brilliant dialogue takes a character-centered drama and sends it slightly into genre territory was nicely done. Plus, I love the genuine interactions between our layered and deeply flawed two leads, played excellently by both Cruz and Smit. If you haven't seen this yet and are a fan of Cruz or Almodovar, it's worth checking out. Parallel Mothers gets an 8 out of 10. So let me know, did you see Parallel Mothers, or are you planning to see it, and what were your thoughts? Is it one of your favorite Penelope Cruz movies? Is it one of your favorite Pedro Almodovar movies? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and share it. And for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching, everyone, and keep having fun with film.